Hello everybody, my name's Elena. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I wanted to do a little reading vlog, but I wanted it to be themed. Okay, so I'm in the middle of a bunch of series, okay, and I would like to not be. I'm going to attempt to either finish series or continue them. So if I've read like the first book and there's 3, I'll read the second one. I don't have to read both of the other ones, but at least, you know, making progress or finishing the series that I'm kind of in the middle of. First one that is a priority and that I'm literally just about to start, like I almost started this book and then went, oh my god, wait, I should do this vlog. So I just set up my phone and started filming. I read One Dark Window last month and I talked about it in my wrap up. You can go check that out if you'd like. I gave it 5 stars. So obviously I'm going to read Two Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gillig. Right now, I picked out my tabs. They're over there, so I can't show you them, but just trust that they match the cover, okay? And I have this really cute bookmark inside from when Book Depository was a thing, and I think it's beautiful because if you didn't know, in One Dark Window, our main character has a monster living inside of her head, and this just seemed really appropriate, so I'm using that inside of the book. So this is going to be the first one. This is definitely the one that I'm going to be reading. Like I said, I'm about to immediately start it. I want to finish the Wilder Wood duology. So the first book is For the Wolf. I rated that 5 stars as well. So obviously I want to read For the Throne, and I'm probably going to be reading it right after this one. And maybe if we have time, I don't have it with me right now. I really don't want to get up. It's on my TBR cart, but it's The Raven King by Maggie Stiefvater. So if I still have juice in me to read fantasy after these 2, I might also do that one and finish that series as well, which is the Raven Cycle. So that's what we're doing for this video, and hopefully it's going to be a fun one. I'm now going to go lay in bed because I'm in pain, because my stomach is killing me, and I'm probably going to put on some whimsical music right here on this TV, and I'm just going to read for a while. We're getting a lot of new POVs in this book, which I'm really enjoying. Personally, I think my favorite currently is Elm's point of view, just because I really liked his character before, but honestly, Elspeth's chapters are always a delight. Like, I love her so much as a character, so I love reading from her perspective, and obviously if you know how the last book ends, obviously those chapters are even more interesting in this book. However, I am reading Elm's chapter right now. I'm on page 52. It's going a little bit slower than the first book, just in terms of pacing, but it's still really good. And Elm is talking to Eon, I don't know how to pronounce her name, but it's Elspeth's cousin. And he says something so out of pocket because he's like trying to get the dress off of her because it's like soaking wet. He puts her hair to one side so he can reach the fastening at the back. And he says, it was surprisingly heavy, her hair, dense, long enough to wrap around his fist and tug. Excuse me? But also, so that's hot, and that's all I have to say for now. Obviously, this video isn't going to have any spoilers for any of the books that I'm reading. However, that line had me gagged. I read 100 pages of Two Twisted Crowns, which is what I wanted to read for today, and I honestly want to finish it in 2 days, so like not tomorrow, the day after. So I'm gonna have to read like 150 pages, I think, or 160 tomorrow and the day after if I want to finish it, but I think it's doable. It took me a really long time to read these first 100 pages. However, we have gotten to what the plot is going to be, so I think it is going to start picking up. And also, I don't think it was really the book's fault. I think I'm finding it really hard to focus because I have other things going on and stuff. So yeah, but I'm really excited about this book and I am really enjoying it, so I can't wait to read more, just not today. I said I'd read 100 pages and I've read 170. That's how far in I am, and I was right. It did pick up and I'm very happy about it, and all I want to do is read now. But guess what, I have the Olympic volleyball game to watch because Japan are playing against the US, and obviously I'm rooting for Japan because Japan are my top favorite team. So I'm gonna watch that, and then maybe later I'll read again. Depends on how tired I am and how miserable I am, so we'll see. 100 pages left of this baby. Could I finish it tonight? Yes. Am I choosing peace for tonight and leaving future Elena tomorrow to deal with the breakdown that I'm going to have when this book ends? Yes, that is exactly what I'm doing. Like I said, I have 100 pages left. I will say this one I'm not liking just as much as the first one, which I feel like is an unpopular opinion. However, this is also eating, and it depends on the ending what rating I'll give it. Right now it's sitting at like a 4.5 for me, to be honest, just because I don't think I adored the romance in the first book. Like, I really liked it, but I didn't adore it, and I also don't adore this one. For me, the part that sells the book is the writing and the whole dynamic that the Nightmare and Elspeth have, which isn't as present in this book because we have different point of views. So maybe that's why I'm not enjoying this one as much as the first one, but I'm still really enjoying it, and I'm super excited. And I literally stopped at right before part 3 of the book, which is To Bend, and I know shit's about to go down, and I just went, I got to that part, saw it, and went, that's enough for tonight. I might be a little bit of a dumbass, because this video is like, you know, continuing series I'm already in the middle of, like either reading the other book in the series or just the last one if I have to complete the series, finish the series, whatever. So I was, first of all, I finished Two Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gillick, and we're going to talk about it, okay? Spoiler alert, I really liked this. I gave it 5 stars. We're going to talk about it later. After I finished that, I was like, you know what? I need an audiobook. I already finished the one of them that I had for this month that was also on my TBR. And I was like, okay, I need an audiobook because I'm doing a Sims build. So I picked up Things We Hide from the Light by Lucy Score, and I listened to it on audiobook, not realizing that that also fits into this video because it's the second book in the Knock 'Em Out series. Like, the first book is Things We Never Got Over. I completely forgot about that, so I didn't update once throughout this whole video about the book. And the worst part is, I ended up loving it, okay? I'm going to talk about this one first. I give it 4.75 stars. I adore this book. I was apprehensive going into it because a lot of people don't like this book. Even people that liked the first book don't really like this book. So I was like, okay, I'm a bit apprehensive about it. That's kind of also why I listened to it on audiobook, why I didn't read it physically. I'm kind of slightly regretting that because I don't have any tabs, but that just gives me an excuse to reread this at some point because I loved this. Things We Never Got Over is the first book in this series. It's the blue one with the daisies. I'm sure you've seen it around. I also give that one 4.75 stars. If you told me to pick between the two, I genuinely don't know which one I would pick. Like, I love both of them for different reasons. This one, dynamic between the characters is what got me, because this is more like, they're not really friends either. They're just kind of banging, and then it turns into like something a bit more romantic, and I usually am not a fan of that kind of plot or romance progression in books. This one, I actually really liked it because, first of all, Nash, really respectful. I love the man. Also, I know a lot of people are apprehensive about it because the male main character, Nash, is a cop. I think she did a good job addressing it and stuff like that, so I really liked that part. And Nash is just an overall really nice guy. Like, he's a gentleman. Like, there's nothing bad I can say about him. And I honestly find these books really fun. I know a lot of people shit on them and they're like, they're ridiculous. Like, these are like 40-year-old adults and they're acting like children, which I kind of understand, but also I find that fun. I'm like, they're just silly little humans, you know, just being ridiculous. And I don't know. This is my perfect brand of, I need something light, easy, but something that'll also get me, you know, because it's like small town, obviously, and I love that. And it's slow burn, which is another one of my favorite tropes. Also, the covers are adorable. Can we please, the pink, okay, I'm eating my hair. The pink, love it. So yeah, I really enjoyed this book, and it has an epilogue and an extended epilogue, which honestly, I don't understand the point of an extended epilogue. Just as a side note, like, just put it in the epilogue, you know? You can, I don't know, maybe it was because it was like really into the future, so it was like an extended epilogue, I don't know. However, the epilogue and extended epilogue made me sob like a baby. I was doing my puzzle on the ground and I was like, yeah, So this one really hit for me. I really liked it. I really like Lena. I liked that the kind of what is described on the back, kind of what you get, which is the fact that Lena is on a mission. That's why she's in Nakaman. She's kind of hiding it. That wasn't a part of the third act breakup, you know? And I'm saying that in quotations because, like, there wasn't really a third act breakup. That's another thing that's gonna make you want to read this book. There is a conflict, but, like, they don't break up or anything like that, and it's solved pretty quickly, which I liked. That's not a big point in the book. Like, it is a pivotal moment in the book, but it's not, it doesn't take away from it, which I was kind of scared about. Shouldn't have been scared. This was executed perfectly. The only reason why it's not 5 stars is because in the conflict, you know how in Lucy Score's books, or at least in Things We Never Got Over, because, like, there's, like, a little bit of mystery inside of it. Right at the end, you get kind of, like, a bit more plot and action. That felt really, like, Disney Channel to me. I don't know. It was ridiculous, which I like about the book. Like, I like ridiculous, funny books, but I felt like it could have been executed just a little bit better and just a tiny bit less comedic than it was, and then it would have been perfect. But honestly, that's me nitpicking. The way I enjoyed this book is like the way I enjoy 5-star reads, but I have to give it 4.75 stars, okay? So I really like this. I'm really excited about Sloane and Lucian's book. So honestly, I'm probably gonna read that really soon. I know I have other things to read, but I'm just really in the mood to read that one after reading this. So yes, that was me being a little bit of a dumbass, but yes, I read this and technically I did make progress. And honestly, I just remembered that if I do read that book, I can actually finish the series in this video. So you know what? That's also productive, you know? So that's that. Now we're going to talk about Two Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gillig. I absolutely adored this book. I gave it 5 stars. I gave the first one, One Dark Window, 5 stars as well. This is a new comfort series for me. I'm definitely going to be rereading this a lot. They're very easy reads. Like, if you're just getting into fantasy, I think these are perfect. They don't have a lot of complicated writing inside of it. Like, it's really readable. It's fast-paced. The magic system is really fun and really fleshed out, but not to the point where it gives you, like, a headache, you know, to learn all the world building and stuff like that. It's very easy to digest, which is perfect. And also, it's a 2-book series. It's a duology. You have 2 books, you read them, you devour them, and then you're done with the series. So it's perfect for beginners, and even if you're not a beginner, like the way that I'm not a beginner, still really enjoyable. What got me with this book is the characters. I really like the characters. I like how they were fleshed out. I like that in the first book we got one romance, and in the second book we have a little bit of that romance still, but also a different romance in this one. I don't know which one I prefer. I know people prefer the romance in the second book. I think I like both equally in the sense that I'm not obsessed with either. Listen, I know I give them 5 stars, like, and I like the romance in these books. I was shipping the couples, absolutely. And I thought they were endearing and cute and lovely and wonderful. But I just didn't connect with them as much as I connect with other couples and stuff like that, but I still really loved them. For me, it was more the atmosphere of the book and the plot of it and the whole kind of dynamic that Elspeth has with the nightmare in her head. That was my favorite part of the books, and we get a lot more of the nightmare in this book. Obviously, I'm not going to spoil anything. This is like a spoiler-free video, so I'm not spoiling anything by saying this, but there is a lot more of the nightmare in this book, so I really enjoyed that because honestly, he's my favorite character. I really enjoyed the ending. I thought it was perfect. And it did make me sob. Honestly, I thought it would make me sob more, which I was actually kind of happy that I wasn't sobbing as much because I feel like it ended so perfectly that I couldn't even, like, be mad about it. Like, obviously it was bittersweet, but it was exactly what needed to happen right at the end. So I really enjoyed this. I highly recommend this series. It is adult fantasy, but it's written in first person as well. Just in case you were like, oh, but fantasy is written in third person. It's written in first person. I personally don't have any qualms with third person, first person, whatever. I don't care how the book is written, but I know a lot of people don't like third person, and this isn't. Wait, I will say, the first book is completely in first person. In this book, you get different POVs. Only Elspeth's POVs in this book are in first person. The other ones are in third person. So I feel like that's still okay, though, because you're not just getting the whole book in third person. There's also first person as well, so I feel like you'd be okay with that. I don't know. It's not complicated at all, again, so perfect for beginners. But yeah, finished this, loved it, devoured it. The day that I finished this, I actually started For the Throne by Hannah Witten. I got 30 pages in, and I'm really enjoying it. Right off the bat, there's like a little plot twist, which I wasn't expecting. I'm really excited about it, so I guess we'll see how that plays out. I'm kind of also not really in the mood to read that book right now, so I don't know what to do. But hopefully I'll remember to update next time that I read one of these books for this video. But yeah, I think For the Throne is the one that's, I think, I really wanted to read. And then also The Raven King. I'm really going to try and get to The Raven King for this video, but honestly, I make no promises. I don't know. But yeah, that's what I read. So I finished the Shepherd King duology, and I continued the Knock 'Em Out series by Lucy Score. And I am super happy with this. Now I need another audiobook for my Sims build, and I think it's going to be Everything I Know About Love by Dolly Alderton. You don't care because this is not the video, but I'm just telling you that's probably what I'm going to be listening to next. I'm fighting demons trying to start this for this video because it's not that I don't want to read it, okay? If there's one thing about me is that I love finishing things. I love finishing series, okay? Contrary to popular belief, because I'm in the middle of a lot of them. I love finishing them, though. I like having a little done story right up in here in my head. This scares me. I think I'm gonna sob. So I'm not very excited to start it. And it's like August 22nd, so I need to get a move on if I want to read it this month, which I do, because this is the only book actually left on my physical TBR that I haven't read yet. All the other ones, read them. And pretty early into the month as well. This is the only one dragging me down right now. I'm 84 pages in, and aside from the fact that I wanted to sob during the prologue, which honestly, not surprising, because Maggie Stiefvater has banger prologues. Like, I will never forget when I read the prologue for The Dream Thieves, which is the second book, and the way that I felt after reading it, because I read the prologue, read it again, and then continued reading, because I could not get over how well it was written. So that didn't surprise me, the fact that the prologue made me emotional. And okay, Maggie Stiefvater's books are kind of weird to explain. Like, I can't even explain to you what The Raven Boys is about, because they're very kind of mystical. Where was I going with this? Oh, yes. So most of her books have like a slower start, and sometimes that kind of annoys me just a little bit, like in Blue Lily, Lily Blue. Like, the second half of the book was so good. The first half dragged so much. That's why I give it 4.5 stars. Like, the second half of the book was so good that I couldn't give it anything less, but I couldn't give it anything more because of the first half. So I was expecting this one to also be really slow at the beginning. 84 pages in, read them really quickly. I'm actually feeling kind of good about this, but also the dragging kind of started after the 100 page kind of mark last time, so I am still a little bit worried, but I want to read at least like 100 pages today. I'm on page 84 right now, so I'm gonna go buy some snacks because I'm feeling like it. Also, I am sick. If I'm a little nasally, that's why. It's just a cold. It's passing already. So I'm gonna go get snacks, and then I'll continue. And there is a bike. Like there always is. Great, that's great. It has been about like 4, maybe 5 days since I finished this book, The Raven King, in case you've forgotten, which you haven't, because for you it's been like 2 seconds since the last clip, if that. And for me, it's been a while. I finished this book, and I couldn't talk about it immediately. One, because I had to sit with my feelings a little bit and to come to terms with the way that this book ended. And then also because I couldn't process it properly when I just finished it, so it didn't feel right immediately filming like the review part of this, I guess. Officially, the rating for this is 5 stars. I know that intro probably made it sound like I didn't enjoy it. No, I loved it. I gave it 5 stars. It was a roller coaster. If you don't know my journey with this series, I started reading The Raven Boys last year, and I gave it 5 stars. It's one of my favorite books ever. I absolutely adore that book, and it's also one of my most annotated books. And then kind of like a month or 2 afterwards, I read The Dream Thieves, and I gave that one 4.75 stars because I found that the first part was a little bit slow. The third book, Blue Lily, Lily Blue, I read this year somewhere around April or March. I gave it 4.5 stars. And as you can see, the ratings have kind of slowly been like descending, I guess. So I was kind of scared going into this book. This one was, I think, her least slow. I think this is actually like her fastest in terms of progressing, which would make sense because it's the finale, like it's the last book. What are you building up to? This is literally what the whole series has been building up to. So I think this is definitely her fastest paced one, and I really liked the way that it was paced. I didn't find any parts where it dragged at all. I was entertained the whole time. I liked the plot twists that we were getting. If you're hearing thunder, it's because it is in fact thundering. And I liked the way that it was executed near the end. One, I was sobbing, but like, were we surprised? Because I wasn't. I knew I was gonna cry. But near the end, and the way that this book ended, I'm obviously not gonna spoil anything, but the way that this book ends is kind of like a little bit open-ended and kind of left to your interpretation. And I didn't realize that that was the point right as soon as I read it. Like, I'm talking like I read it, I finished the book, and as soon as I did, I was like, I don't get it. So for the next 5 minutes, I was like disappointed and upset, and then I had some water and calmed down and came back from my high, and I was like, wait, no, that was the point. And then everything clicked into place. Like, I suddenly understood what like some of the parts meant. I understood why it was executed that way, and it's actually the perfect ending to this series. So I'm no longer disappointed, obviously, because the rating is 5 stars. But it shocked me right in the beginning. So maybe that's something to keep in mind if you are reading this series, that it has a little bit of an open end. But if it does make you feel better, there is another series after this. Actually, I have the book right here because I want to start reading it. Call Down the Hawk. This is the first book in the Dreamer trilogy, which comes after the Raven Cycle. So don't worry, you have more content. I can't tell you if that's good content because I haven't read the book yet, but I will start soon. I'm hoping. Basically, I love it. I think these characters will stay with me for a very long time. Just for your information, in case you wanted to know who my favorite characters are, they are Ronan and Noah. Those are my 2 favorite characters. And I'm now going to stop talking about this because I'm going to start crying again, because that's just the reaction that I have to this book. I'm very happy that I finally got to read this series because I've been wanting to read it since like the first year of high school. And I'm literally about to finish college soon. Like, in literally half a year, I'll be done. And that's, like, crazy to think about. So I'm gonna stop. But it's just nice that I finally got to read this series because I knew that I would love it. And I did end up loving it. And it's a 5-star series for me overall, even though not all of the books were 5 stars. All of them have really, really high ratings. And then just as like a little side note for you, I did the same thing that I did with Things We Hide from the Light, which is completely forget that it's a part of a series. I did that again with Caught Up by Liz Tomforde. So it wasn't even supposed to be a part of this video, but I'm gonna mention it anyways because it fits the theme. It's the 3rd book in the Windy City series. I'm gonna be honest, the only reason why I started reading Caught Up is because I wanted to get to play along, because I had a feeling that I wasn't gonna like Caught Up. I don't know why. Spoiler alert, I really liked it. I listened to the audiobook. The reason I did that is because 1, they don't have the book in my country right now, but 2, I really enjoyed listening to Mile High on audiobook. So I knew it was going to be a good experience, and it was. I was literally obsessed with it. I finished it in 2 days. I would have finished it in 1 day, but I started it kind of late, so I didn't have it in me to stay up and finish it. But I absolutely loved the narration and everything. I gave it 4.75 stars. It just didn't feel right giving it the same rating as The Right Move, which I gave 5 stars, which is the 2nd book. So that's why it's 4.75 stars. But I absolutely adore the book. I adore the characters. I really liked the relationship. I liked how the conflict was done. I was really apprehensive about it because I had seen some things on TikTok, like little scenes. And that was kind of honestly the main reason why I didn't want to pick it up. And then I did, and I'm so happy that I did because I absolutely loved it. So there's your little Easter egg, I guess, in this video. This is finally the end of this video. I've been filming it for so long, but we are here. We're done. Thank you so much for watching. You can like, comment, subscribe if you'd like, and I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.